Hi everyone. So I was asked a very random question, and I was asked what is the craziest thing you've ever done, or what are the craziest things you've ever done? And I can think of at least three three really crazy things that I've done, which might seem mundane and ordinary to most people, but because I'm old and a fuddy duddy, they were super exciting. So I'm gonna share them with you. The first crazy thing I did was I got a nose ring, my nose ring and my piercing. So what happened was, my aunt was getting a nose ring, and I tagged along as the mutual support. And this woman has had multiple surgeries, guys, and she's had 3 kids, so she knows what pain is. But a needle to her nose was literally too much for her. She's like, nah, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. And I said, you've got this. Let's do this. You've got this. So she says to me, oh, let's do this. And I said, no. I mean, let you do it while I help you let you do it. By which point it was too late. She decided, right, sweetheart, what's going to happen is I'm going to get my nose ring if you get one. I pleaded finances, and she said, I've got you covered. You do it first, and then I will. And I remember thinking, OMG, I don't even know how I'm going to explain this to my mother. I know I'm 20-something years old, but like piercings and parents, African parents, does she know my parents? So I was pretty shook. But I sat down, and the amazing assistance, this was at Supermed, by the way, so if you're looking for piercings, really good place to go. She dotted my nose as to where the nose ring would be placed, and I was like, okay, cool, that works. And she said, are you ready? And I was like, yep. On the count of 3. 1, 2. Now, I was apparently shaking. I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And my aunt's like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But I think my nose is bleeding. And I remember wiping the base of my nose. And I was like, where's the blood? And it was a single teardrop. For those of you who've had piercings, you know that one tear that just trickles down your face when it's like, ah, that hurt. So that was one of the crazy things. It got even worse. My aunt's nose piercing healed almost immediately, and mine took a good 6 months to heal. And I remember having been told, no, it should take about 2 weeks, a month at most, and mine took 6 months. I don't know if my nose is just that thick, or if it was just karma and fate. I have no idea, but it took a heck and a while. And I remember saying to my aunt at least 3 times, I'm going to remove this thing. I don't want it anymore. I'm done. But I would look at the time that I'd spent getting it and how long I'd already invested in it. And that's how I keep my nose ring. And now it's something that I identify with, funny enough, which I love about me. I love my nose rings and piercings, and it's just a fun bit about me. The second craziest thing that I've done, which in fact should have been the first because it really was crazy, was again with the same aunt. Yes, she is a hazard, guys. Driving to Durban and spending 2 days in Durban in our car as 2 women who had absolutely no means of defending themselves beyond screaming. That was humor. So I remember my aunt, her son is in the Drakensberg choir, and she was going to a musical festival, and she said to me, my daughter, my love, have you ever been to the sea? And I said, nope, rather happily. And she said, you've never been to the sea? And I said, no, I haven't. And she said, well, I'm taking you. And I was like, ha 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 ha, jokes, you're funny. No. And she said, we're making it happen. Because we were only going as far as Drakensberg, Durban was obviously 2 hours away, we had to semi sort of shoestring budget our way to Durban, hence the sleeping in the car. By shoestring budget, I mean like floss, like not just the shoestring, not that that was too thick. The floss, like the G-string floss, that one, that's what we had. And I remember the first night we were sleeping in the car. We were sitting and chatting. It was around 10 at night, and I was sitting on the passenger side and she was sitting in the driver's seat, and she was facing me and I was facing her. And all of a sudden I saw a face in the window, and I was like, "Ah!" And she's like, "What?" And then she turned to look outside, and there was a man standing there, and then she screamed, and then he screamed, and he's like, "You scared the out of me, man?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, you scared the crap out of us, and we're in a car, and we're women, and we have no means of defending ourselves beyond screaming, so who should be screaming?" Anyway, he proceeded to ask for money to go to a hostel for the night, and we commented, if we're in a car and we're two women, what does that tell you about our present financial situation? To which he quickly departed with a smile on his face. He came back, I think, about an hour later, and he said something along the lines of, I got to fix someone's car wheel, so I got my 20 rand. I'm going to the hostel now. Sleep tight, ladies. And that was that. The one thing that I've learned from both of these experiences, and from many others, in terms of the craziest things I've done, some are just too wild to share, but they're there. And on a good day, if you find me and give me, I don't know, copious amounts of wine, you might get to learn more about those. But for today, we're leaving it there. The one thing they've taught me is that life isn't all doom and gloom. Life is full of adventure, and you can make the most of any moment. You can find joy in the little things. You can make joy in the little things. Something as simple as watching my nephew take his first steps for the first time are the things that bring me joy. And sometimes you have to actively pursue adventure and go out of your way to take yourself out of your comfort zone, to seize the day, to slay the day, to have fun. If you have a bucket list of things that you want to do, even if you have to start small because, you know, COVID and the world as it is now, whether it's going to be something like taking yourself out for a meal, whether it's going to be getting a massage, spending some money on yourself, take the chance and the time to make your life an adventure, because you only do have one life. And it would be great to have a boon of stories to tell your grandkids or your children, as opposed to a life unlived, filled with regret. So if there's anything crazy you want to do, within reason, please do. Take a moment to just live life, to just enjoy the day, and to just have some fun. You deserve it.